Today's school night. Grade 11 only started a few weeks ago. You've been preparing for the upcoming community theater auditions for Antony and Cleopatra. You sit at your kitchen table. Its style is much like your mother's, very 50s retro. Your parents and yourself sit finishing up dinner. Is there anything you'd like to do before going to bed?
Styx would definitely be, like, rehearsing her lines as much as possible and doing as much memorization as she could. And she would probably also be brooding and writing in her notebook a new poem before going to bed. That's usually her routine.
Yeah, you kind of start to rehearse the lines. Do you know if there's, like, are you trying out for, like, Cleopatra?
Oh, she would be.
Like,
She would be trying so hard, but she would also still be doing the, oh, and this is how we go about ruling Egypt, and that is, yes, snake bites.
Wonderful. Yeah, so you rehearse, you write down a pretty dreary poem.
Oh, yes.
And you go to bed?
Yeah, I think that's usually her routine, is just, like, whatever her lines practice, do, like, a poem because that's just, she has to. And then she would probably, like, start to wind down.
You settle into bed, and you drift off into the shadow of rest and dream. The time is night. You find yourself in the courtyard of a castle in ruins. There's grass beneath your bones, and the air smells damp. You are surrounded by skeletons, holding long swords. Their teeth clack as they speak to one another. What do you do?
Hello, fellow skeletal beings.
There's like a group of 3 that kind of turn towards you, and they're like, "Hi there, mate."
How
you doing?
You look so familiar. Are you perhaps a cousin or a great, etc. great uncle?
Oh, I don't know about that. My name's Egan.
Fantastic. Where do you reside? Where is this castle? It's quite fantastic and magnificent.
I don't really know where. I don't really know where we are. Selma, do you know where we are? I don't know where we are, man. This is kind of new for me. And then the third one's like, whoa.
Can I, like, look down at my person and see if I'm wearing, like, my PJs or if I'm in, like, an outfit?
You are just a skeleton. And you
Oh.
also have a long sword.
But I am naked and a skeleton and I have a long sword. Oh! She, like, looks down at the long sword and kind of is like, yes. Forth into the breach. What are we fighting?
I don't know there, man. I think we were resurrected for an undead army. I don't know why.
Well, that sounds fantastic. It shall fuel my tortured soul. Risen from the dead to be part of an untimely end once more into a war of disaster. But why are we fighting? Who called us here?
Well, I don't really know about that there. I don't really know. We're just kind of here. We're waiting around. I don't know. We were just kind of chatting, talking about our previous lives, you know. Egan here was telling us about his beetroot farm up in York. Oh, yeah, my beetroot farm. Family's probably going to die within the next year. We all got a pretty bad cold. That's how I made it out.
Oh, that does not sound pleasant. Well, do we just still stand here?
Oh, I don't know. We're just kind of waiting for something to happen.
Perhaps we should investigate this dark castle.
I don't know how much there is to investigate. It's pretty broken and run down.
Yes, but the inside. Creeping into the void of the entrance. Perhaps. Venturing forth.
We could certainly try if we want to try and squeeze our way through the crowd. I I don't know if we properly introduced ourselves. That's Egan. I'm Selma. And the third one's like, Alfred. What's your name?
My name is Styx, and it is very nice to meet you.
Certainly a strange name for around here. Where are you from?
I am from an island of Thetis.
Thetis.
Indeed.
I never heard such an island before. What? I mean, we're all on an island right now, but like...
Well, it's a lovely island, and full of torment and despair and disaster. But it is also full of sometimes love and other such emotional connectedness. It's very small.
The island we're on right now? Or your Thetis?
A Thetis.
Oh, well, we're from Britain. It rains a lot. Yeah. So Selma kind of speaks. I'm from Litchfield. Yeah, or was.
Well,
I'm homeless.
oh no.
Well done, well. Pretty pumped for whatever this is.
Yes. I think Styx will like kind of inspect her sword, like try and see if it's sharp. Like put
It's
a little
certainly
bone
sharp.
On it. Ooh, it's
Yeah,
sharp.
nicks your bone.
Ooh,
Gives you a little scratch.
a little crack in the joints there. All right. Well, let's go to the castle. Perhaps. This is very strange.
As you kind of turn to try and enter the castle, this voice kind of yells out over the crowd, "Attention!" And you feel compelled to do so, and you all turn at attention.
Oh, okay.
Could you roll me a perception check?
Yes, I can. Only a 12.
It's kind of hard to see over the crowds. This voice is definitely feminine, but you can't really see who's speaking. There's just so many skeletons here. But you hear her speak more. "My army, you are to storm the citadel and kill the knight and king's guard within. That is your purpose. Bring me victory." And all the skeletons, even yourself, kind of raise their arm up that they're holding their sword in a bit of a cheer and sort of a pump up.
Am I conscious of this? Like, I know?
You are extremely conscious of this.
Can I try and fight?
Roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Because, like, Styx would be like, oh no, I'm not having this. Like, what? What is happening? Oh, just an 8.
You try to fight this thing. It's so hard. You're confused, your body's not moving with what you want it to do. And you turn and you all of the skeletons in phalanx just start to march out of this castle ruins. And you feel like you don't have any control.
Or she would be having, like, a panic.
Very much a panic.
Yeah,
attack.
she'd be, like, freaking out. Like, I don't know what's going on. I can't control myself. Like, this isn't good.
As you begin to march, your vision shifts, and you now stand in an illustrious room made of jade. Whatever made you listen to orders before no longer has a hold on you. There are many fine objects placed on pedestals and shelves. You look around and you see a woman with long dark brown hair braided into a bun. She wears a long royal blue gown, sort of a Celtic fashion. And she holds a long sword in her hand, and she just seems to be entering this room.
Am I still a skeleton?
You can look down.
Yeah, I, like, look down and, like, once the scene shifts, I'd, like, check to see if I still have the sword and, like look, what's up with my body? What clothes am I wearing now, or am I still naked?
You're wearing your pajamas, and you no longer have a longsword.
Oh.
It's just as you went to bed in.
And I'm not just a skeleton anymore. I have, like, some flesh?
Well, you're still a skeleton.
Okay.
So it's probably night.
Okay. Do I recognize this lady?
Roll a history check.
History check. Oh. Okay. A 4. This is not working out.
No.
This is not going well today.
No, it's not.
Really, truly. Okay. Can she see me?
Roll an insight check.
Okay.
She's just entering the room. Like, it's sort of this long hall with a lot of objects being placed upon it. But she's just entered this room.
Right. But, like, if I'm, like, moving and, like, you know how your eyes, like, catch on things that move? If I'm, like, not trying to be, like, stealthy, like...
Are you moving?
I feel like she'd be, like, at least, like, shifting her feet, like trying to look around and, like, see, like, where she is. Like, the curiosity.
Roll an insight check.
Yes. So, not good. 10.
Get some new dice.
I'm going to.
Please go get some new dice.
I'm going. I'm okay.
Which ones are you using?
I have 3 already set up. I've been trying all of them. Yeah, I have 4. I have my avatar dice, my blue glow-in-the-dark dice, my purple, like, mystic dice, and then I have my orange, kind of better dice. But
use your better
I don't
ones.
even know. We'll see how it goes, man. We'll try.
So for a 10 insight check, you're not quite sure. She seems pretty fixated on this sword that she holds in her hand.
Okay. I think that Styx at this point is gonna be, like, kind of confused and, like, well, this is a kind of a crazy dream I'm having now. And I think that she'll go and walk up very slowly and kind of, like, cautiously over to this woman and say, hello?
So you begin to walk towards her, and as she entered the room, she began walking in your direction. So you kind of meet in the middle, and as she's approaching you, she speaks. A new era is upon us. And she walks past you and towards the end of the room. The king is dead. For whatever is to come, I shall play no part in.
Who is the king?
She places the sword on a proper stand at the end of the hall. The legends are never false. There will be one day I shall meet the mortals again. But until then I must remain hidden. It is not best to meddle in things I have no sway in. And she turns around, sort of facing in your direction.
I think that Styx is just, like, really dumbfounded, like, yes, I too shall not meddle in the affairs of mortals. And she's kind of, like, trying to go along with it. She's like, oh, this dream is kind of, like, crazy. Like, my theatrical creativity is just coming full force, and so she's kind of, like, starting to go with it, like, all right, yeah, I'll play along.
The woman begins to walk towards you, and she seems to kind of be talking to herself in a sense when she says, I must prepare. And she walks right through you. And as you kind of, instinctively close your eyes, like, oh my gosh, she's walking through me. Your vision grows dark. You kind of close your eyes as she washes through you. And your dream moves again. And you see a dark room. A red neon light illuminates over 5 dark figures.
Did I like, eat something really wrong before bed? Like, what is happening to me? I didn't have any cold syrup or anything like that. Like, why? Hello? And she's kind of starting to, like, get a little, like, thinking maybe this is a nightmare of some sort. So it's kind of like, what's up? I guess.
Do you say this to the five figures?
Yeah.
As you kind of say that to them, you hear a chorus of voices, and they speak. The council. A neon pink light appears. Another dark figure is within the light, but it kneels in prayer.
Are we supposed to kneel? I guess Styx is just gonna kind of like go onto her knees and like go with it. Kind of like, okay.
The voices speak again. The servant. A neon orange light appears. There's another dark figure within it, but it floats in the center of the light.
Right. So do we have 5 people that are going to represent certain things? What's happening here? This is an odd dream. Deep into the abyss of the void. But, confusion. Welcome to my, dark and insidious unconscious.
The voices speak. The sacrifice. 5 different colored neon lights illuminate on the floor around you. Yellow, green, cyan, blue, and purple. A figure stands underneath each light. You stand underneath the purple light.
Sacrifice. Well, that sounds absolutely deliciously tragic.
The voices speak. The champions.
Champions? Does this mean that my subconscious is telling me that I'm going to get the lead in the production? I shall be Cleopatra. Victorious. I think that's what it means. I'm very excited to be asleep right now. This was quite a little bit dodgy for a moment, but now I feel good.
Are you just kind of standing there while all of this happened?
Yeah, she's kind. Well, she started to kneel because she saw the other person kneel, and she was confused. Like, is that what we're supposed to do? And so she's just on her knees. She's very confused.
One by one, all the lights begin to go out, and as they do, the council, the servant, the sacrifice, the champions, and all the lights go out. The entire dream shifts, and you even feel it shift in tone. You now stand in a cobblestone room. The corners and walls of this room are covered in shadow, making it impossible to make out any items or details that may be in here. In the center of the room, by a crystal orb, sits a white-bearded man in dark-green robes. Ah, Styx! What a pleasure it is to meet you. Come, take a seat.
Why, hello, gentlemen. What? You can see me now. Is this my unconscious? Am I going through a phase right now of some sort? Like, I don't understand why everything's shifting. This is not my normal dreams. Usually I dream about, like, sinking into the abyss of the ocean. That's a big one. Or, like, something like that, especially in my nightmares because, you know, fairies. But, what's happening? I'm kind of getting a bit freaked out right now.
Ah, well, I'm not dreaming, but you must be. Curious. And you can kind of see him, like, taking a mental note of that.
That I'm spooked? That I'm kind of like, this is not normal for me. Even with my theatrical, creative brain, this is quite chaotic. So what do you want from me?
I'm curious to see. There's much to prepare for in the future. At least my future. Perhaps yours. How old are you?
I am 16.
Ah, more things are yet to come. Curious, curious.
Are you a very intensive, like, fever dream? Or what is happening? Do you know what's happening?
Oh, I know what's happening, of course. I've been seeing what is yet to come. I'm not dead, but I'm not alive at the moment, at least in your time. I'm very much alive right now. But things are yet to come.
So I'm going to be enslaved by a crazy priestess person and forced to fight. That was the worst thing, okay? I am not ready for that. I am like only half of a skeleton anyways, so I don't understand. Like, I'm not like dead, so what's happening with that? Because I don't want to be enslaved.
Curious. I remember that fight well. Oh, my brain is kind of like, what's a thing during your time I can compare this to? Ooh, scrambled eggs. Everything when you get older kind of mixes together, especially when you know possibilities and such to be.
Okay. So is everything set in stone? Or, like, is this something we can not have happen?
Nothing is ever set in stone, Styx. Stories are meant to be unfolded. But you have a say in what's going to happen. You might know what is going to happen, but you get to choose how that happens. Perhaps you can change the outcome.
And what's your name?
All in due time, all in due time. There's only but time to learn.
I see. Well, what do I need to do?
Well, you're one for the theatrics.
Always.
Best not to spoil the end of a show before you watch it. And you wake up.
She's kind of like, oh, skeletons can't really sweat, but I imagine that she would be perspiring in some capacity. And like kind of jolt awake out of her bed and like look around and turn on the like side lamp and just start like writing down everything that she remembers from that dream into her journal, and is like, that was kind of crazy, huh? And she like goes and opens the window in her bedroom and just kind of like tries to regulate her breathing and kind of get back to like calm.
Awesome. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
I guess she would like, she wouldn't want to go back to bed just yet, so maybe she would like take some of that fear and that uncertainty and like kind of put on like a sweater and then go out to her like rocks on the beach and sit and just kind of like contemplate, because I'm assuming that to her it felt very real. I don't know, like, would you say that she felt more like it was a dream, or would she feel like it was like like uncertain?
Roll an insight check.
Okay. Oh, I'm gonna use the other dice. We're not doing that anymore. Oh my god.
What?
I got a nat 1. It was a 3.
The DC was so low for this.
Oh my god.
It's so hard to know.
Yep.
Like, that was pretty weird. You're kind of more focused on, like, the events that transpired more than what did that feel like. Like, you're just kind of like, what the heck just happened?
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's fine. I think that she'd still be kind of like, yeah, like, whoa, that was so crazy. I've never had a dream that visceral before, or that, like, vivid. So I think that she'd, like, yeah, go and sit out on the rocks by the beach and just kind of, like for an hour, and just kind of, okay, well, I need to calm down, I need to collect myself, and then she would try and go back to bed, but very cautiously go back to bed after that experience.
You kind of stare off into the ocean, thinking about everything that happened, and you get up and you begin to walk back home. And I think that is a good place to leave it.